though some cartographers may claim otherwise. The maps of Io are still far from complete. The Black Sea in particular has always invited explorers and adventurers to fantasize. Situated north of Fiara, many ships have fallen victim to its stormy waters, causing the number of expeditions to diminish.
Tiara's breath. It worked.
It felt just like traveling with a godstone.
Only that this seems to have been a one-way road. The portal is closed.
What about the portal stone?
I don't know. It seems empty. Activating that portal must have used up all of its energy. Question is, where's Watley? And is it just my imagination, or is the sun a bit lower than when we stepped through?
Possible. It's the same effect that occurs when using teleportation magic, a distortion in the fabric of time. In any case, I believe we should look for Watley. This doesn't bode well.
Agreed. Let's follow the path. He can't have gone far. Hard to believe we're suddenly thousands of miles from Everlight. But there is something unique to this island, isn't there?
True. There's hardly any magical signatures around us. Whoever lived or lives here, they haven't been in contact with the outside world yet.
Bugger and blasted, blistering blazes. Who were these creatures? And what took you so long?
We entered the portal just after you. The teleportation caused a distortion in time.
Oh, of course. The writings mentioned that. Well, thanks for saving me. And sorry for being so mindless. These creatures, I thought they were going to kill me.
Who is this man?
I don't know. He must be one of the locals. But he doesn't seem to understand our tongue.
Tunde, I do.
Fine. Now I'm lost.
So am I. How can you know our language?
Because we are both Kalal. You come from the Forsaken Land, which our people left behind hundreds of generations ago. Though your way of speaking is strange, be that as it may, I am not worthy of answering your questions. I will take you to our Yaris. She has predicted the arrival of outsiders, and it seems that her readings have become true. You will free us from Shar's snake spawn.
We come from the same land? You mean, you're also from Nortander?
Yes, but our ancestors left it behind. It's a long tale, and again, not one I am worthy of telling.
Who is this Shar?
Lakeshi, a renegade, a traitor. But our Yaris will tell you all.
Alright, then take me to your Yaris.
Wait, one more thing. Yaris? Tunde. This sounds a lot like the Hibernian tongue. Are you Hibernians?
Not directly. But again, our Yaris is better fit to explain that. Now please follow me. They are from the Forsaken Land, Yakul. Just as she read from the stars.
By the name of the sun. Outsiders. Are they... do they speak our tongue?
We do. And I bet we have as many questions as you have.
I see. Gallus Danwaji, outsider. Thank you for saving this man. You have no idea what his death would have brought upon our village.
I promised to take them to the Yaris. Can you let us in?
I believe so. Take them to the Yaris, Mekil. She will want to know the stars spoke the truth. It was an honor, outsider.
What's a star reading?
As I said, our Yaris foresaw your coming. She read it from the constellations.
I see the outsiders have arrived.
Yaras. Yes, they have. Just as you predicted. And they saved me from the snake spawn.
Then you already have my gratitude, stranger. Mekil, you may leave.
Of course.
Well then. I'm a Shah, holy Yaris of the Ulias tribe. What's your name?
I assume Yaris means leader.
Not precisely, but yes. I am the leader of this village. So tell me, who am I talking to?
I'm Tahar. That man, he said you foresaw our coming.
I read the stars, yes. They told me that soon a stranger would come, one seeking for something to end a curse put upon his land.
The bloodbath.
Don't tell me. Our tribe has left the Forsaken Land for a reason, and whatever is happening there, it does not concern us. All that matters is that the star sent you to save us from Shar, and that we, should you succeed, give you the Kasarlanthep stone in return.
I hate to disappoint, but me being here doesn't have anything to do with the stars.
Yes, it does, even though not in the way you think. What I do, reading the constellations, it is merely interpreting a pattern that is already there. You see, we sentient beings like to consider ourselves separate from the world, but the truth is, we aren't. We're part of a complex whole. Characters, events, catastrophes, they repeat, maybe in a different shape, but with the same core. They are patterns ingrained into the fabric of existence.
Fascinating. This is just what the Hibernian priests always said.
In other words, you're saying that us being here is part of a pattern? So, your people fled from the mainland?
Yes, we did, which is why we were able to talk to one another. But that was a long, long time ago. And since you will probably ask, we left because we were persecuted.
Persecuted? Why?
Because of our faith. We followed the ancient teachings of the Hiberians, and though we were only a few and our faith was peaceful, the priestess of Tiara did not approve. We started to roam the lands in search of a new home, but wherever we went, people drove us away. Until one day, one of our sages found a portal. You can imagine the rest.
So, you worship the Hibernians?
No, they weren't gods. We follow their teachings.
Which are?
Quite simple. I know most remember the Hiberians as brutal dragon hunters, but they were so much more. I even dare say that their downfall was the worst that could happen to Io. But this is a complex matter. If you are truly interested, read one of our parchments. You should be able to decipher the writing.
Oh, trust me. I'll do that.
Queen Aelith is a direct descendant from the Hibernians.
Who?
Right. You wouldn't know. And you never wanted to return to Fiara?
No.
The Kasarlanthep stone?
Yes, the ones who created the relic you are looking for.
I believe she is talking about the Shapers.
If that is how you call them, yes.
So, we help you, and you give us the Nexus stone in return. Is that the deal?
I don't know the stone by that name, but yes, if you help us resolve our problem, you can have it.
You don't even want to know what we need it for?
No. As I said, the outside world doesn't concern us anymore.
Alright, what do you need help with? Your Medusa problem, I assume, and this Shar who's controlling them?
Yes, but it's a bit more complicated. Shar is my son. Where should I start? I have 2 sons, Dul and Shar. According to the Hiberian traditions, it was set that Dul would succeed me as the next Yaras. As you can imagine, this was never easy. Shar never accepted Dul as the legitimate firstborn.
I think I can see where this is going.
It's not that simple. You see, their father died when they were both very young, and that shaped their personalities in very different ways. Shar was frail, sensitive, and emotional. He was always sick, had horrible nightmares, and often talked about these voices he heard.
He heard voices?
Yes. Not only during the night, sometimes even in broad daylight.
What did they say?
All kinds of things. But nowadays, I simply think it was him having a too active imagination.
What kind of dreams did he have?
Everything, really. A lot of it revolved around his father's death. And then he had this one about the sacrificed woman.
The sacrificed woman?
Yes. According to him, he always found himself in some temple-like room surrounded by strange, puppet-like creatures. He walked down a hallway until he stepped into a room where there was a woman lying on an altar. I talked to our shaman about this, but he said that it might simply be his fragile mind. Now I believe that it also had something to do with his magic. A lot of gifted children suffer from strange dreams like that one.
And Dul, your firstborn.
He was the exact opposite. He was strong, always healthy and good with people, but hardly ever showed emotion. It was almost as if he was destined to succeed me.
How did your husband die?
His heart just stopped beating. A rare disease that had run in his family's blood for generations.
My condolences. What was their relationship?
Well, Dul was very distant toward Shar, and Shar hated Dul with a passion. The day things got truly complicated was when Shar discovered his magic. His talent was enormous.
Who taught him? I assume you don't have universities on this island.
You are right. We don't. My duties as Yaris kept me from teaching him myself, so it was mainly the old shaman who died 2 years ago that taught him. But as I said, his talent was enormous. He didn't need much guidance.
Let's cut to the chase. Where did the Medusae come from?
Well, it all happened a month ago. One night, Shar and Dul were gone. The next morrow, our village was surrounded by snake spawn, rallied behind my Shar.
Being a talented mage is one thing, but where did all these Medusae come from? The snake spawn, as you call them.
A ritual, an invocation that has been passed down in our tribe for generations. You see, we do not know war on this island, and fate willing we never will, which is why we are practically defenseless. But that does not mean we are naive. Should our people ever be threatened by outsiders, whether they come by the portals or by ship, the snake spawn would protect us.
So, Shar used this ritual to bind the Medusae to his will.
Yes.
Interesting. I didn't even know Medusae could be conjured.
So you can read from the stars, but you didn't see that coming.
Yes, I knew Shar was trouble, and I knew how much he despised his brother, but to go that far? No. Maybe I was just blind, but I didn't expect that to happen.
But what did he want? Force you to make him the next Yaras instead?
Worse. He said that since we are too blind to see, he would take matters in his own hands and enforce the trial of brothers.
Of course.
I don't understand.
In the Hibernian Empire, it actually wasn't custom for the firstborn child of the emperor to succeed him. Instead, their heirs had to compete in a ritualized duel, which mostly ended deadly for one of the parties. That way, or so the Hibernians figured, there would never be a weakling on the throne.
They forced siblings to kill each other? That's brutal.
You're right, it is. As much as our people admired the Hiberian faith, this wasn't a custom we ever adopted. Be that as it may, for the month, Shar has had his snake spawn abduct villagers to help him restore the ruin up north, so that it's worthy of hosting the trial. Once that is done, he wants to challenge his brother to a fight at the mountain altar. You see where this is going. You need to bring him to reason.
How am I supposed to do that? I can't take on his entire army by myself.
I know that. So the first step should be to free at least some of our people he has taken prisoner. After that is done, we can discuss further steps.
These villagers your son holds captive, where can I find them?
As far as I know, he took most of them to the ruin up north, but the place is heavily guarded by snake spawn, and he has shut himself in, so you can't go there yet. For now, it would suffice if you took care of the smaller camp just north of the village. I feel bad to ask this of you, Tahar, but frankly our hands are bound. I just have to trust the stars that I'm not sending you into your doom.
Don't worry, we've fought worse.
Yes, I guess you have.
Why do you need me for this? You're his mother. Can't you just talk sense into him yourself?
Believe me, I've tried. And to be honest, until the first death, I thought that this was another one of his tantrums. But when the first villager his snakes captured on that first morning tried to run, he simply ordered them to shoot an arrow right through his throat. And Shar promised that if we make any attempts to stop him, he will take this even further. You see, Tahar, we aren't fighters. Our magic is meant to protect, to heal, and our weapons are only meant for fish and deer. But these snake creatures, You saw how dangerous they are. Right now, there is nothing we can do.
If we do this, can you also help us return to the mainland?
Yes, I believe I can. Our Valis, our village shaman, knows a lot about the ancient portals. But until we have our people back, he won't be able to help you.
How am I supposed to make him see reason?
If only I knew. Talk to him, convince him, make him realize what he has done. Just try not to hurt him, will you? But as I said, first of all, our people need to be freed. As long as the village is defenseless, we can't provide you with the means to take down his camp. I'll be here if you need anything. Now good luck, Tahar. And for what it's worth, sorry for burdening you with this.
Fish, forests, fields. They really have it all, don't they? I can understand why the islanders are so fond of this place.
Saris Jadul, you killed them. Who are you?
Your Yara sent us. Are you okay? Can you walk?
Yes, I think so. Are we free to go?
Yes, they're awaiting you in the village.
Go? After all this cursed brat did to us?
What do you suggest? I don't know about you, but I have someone to take care of.
Well then go. I'll join the outsider. You do need help, don't you?
It can't hurt.
Then I'm with you.
Me too. I want to be there when that cursed child gets brought to justice.
I hope you know what you're doing, Ruslan. I really hope you do.
Just go. We'll be back.
Tondai, outsider. What do you need?
I found and rescued your people.
Yes, I know. Thank you, Tahar. You have no idea how much that means to me. The thought that my son caused all this. I still find it hard to believe. But be that as it may, at least now we are able to defend our village again. You should go talk to our shaman now. He will be able to both assist you with your passage back to the mainland and with taking care of Shar. I'll be here if you need anything else.
I'll be off. Thanks for your time. Are you the shaman? The Yaras sent me.
Ah, yes, that's me. Tondai, friend. She told me you'd come. You're looking for a way back to the Forsaken Land, aren't you?
A way back to Nortander, yes.
Good. First of all, I can't thank you enough for what you did. Those people, my friends, they might be dead if the stars hadn't sent you.
My pleasure. But how do we get back to the mainland?
Of course, let's make it brief. It is possible to reactivate the portal. Not the one you came through, but another one. However, it won't be easy.
Why?
Well, for starters, Shar's snake spawn is all over the island, probably also near the portal. We need to free it from them first, which would most likely provoke counterattacks on the village. Rebuilding requires stone and wood. Reigniting it requires energy. And finally, to activate it, we need a portal stone.
Like this one? This is the one we used to get here.
Show me. Yes, that's a portal stone, but you used up all its energy, so it's useless now. We need a new one.
How do we repair it? I'm not an expert on portals.
Which is why I'm here. I already talked to the Holy Yaris about it, and we will give you a handful of able men to help you find the resources. Wood and stone should suffice. Once they've found enough, just send them to the portal and I'll instruct them.
And how do we reignite it?
This is where the channeling altar comes in.
Channeling altar?
Yes. Briefly put, it transforms energy, transmutes it. It's really hard to put into words for a layman, but our tribe has used it for generations. And apart from the snake spawn ritual, it's our only means of defense. It's also what I use to maintain those barriers I've conjured around the village. Once the altar runs out of material to transmute, the barriers vanish. Which is why we need to be vigilant that this doesn't happen.
This sounds very similar to Shaper technology. According to the lore, half of the metals they mined were used to fuel their weaponry.
So the Hibernians used it too. Seems that a lot more of their culture was based on Shaper knowledge than we thought.
That's true.
I assume by Shapers you mean the Zarlanthep. Yes, the Hibernians used a lot of what they left the world with.
I see. Any ideas where we could find a new portal stone?
Well, this is the most complicated part of the story. Though it's theoretically possible, I doubt you'll find one that is still fully intact. However, if you find me enough Hibernian crystal shards, that might work too.
Hibernian what?
Crystal shards. It's the raw material runes are made of. If we're lucky, we might find some in the ruins on the island. But again, no promises.
All right. More treasure hunting then. All right. Then I best get started.
Yes. Good luck. I will be here and will prepare the charging ritual.
The sea. I wonder how far it is to the mainland from here.
Too far, I guess. Even if we had found a ship somewhere, it would have taken us months to get here.
That must be the ruin the Yaris mentioned. The one where Shar wants to hold the trial of brothers. Blazes. Look at it. It's enormous.
And he's abducting the villagers to rebuild it? That's interesting.
Tandai, have you made any progress?
I think so. Are these the crystal shards you've mentioned?
Let me see. Saras Jadul, yes they are. This is good. You were really lucky, you know that? Without these crystals, there would have been no way to reopen the portal. We still haven't finished the repairs on the portal yet. It's a lot more complicated than I thought, but I need time to create a functioning portal stone from the shards anyway, so it doesn't matter. Let us talk once the repairs are finished. Hopefully I'll be ready by then.
Really think this is how it works? You kill me and they respect you? You're a sad little thing, baby brother.
Shut up! Just shut your fucking mouth or I'll tear your guts out! That's close enough. Who the heck are you? You're not from the island.
I'm from the mainland. Your mother sent me here to talk.
From the... Just when I thought things couldn't get any more absurd. Well, I hate to disappoint, but I'm not in the mood for talking. The trial will happen. I will battle my brother and reclaim my birthright.
You're delusional, Shar. You're completely delusional.
Duel, last warning.
So, it's really true. You'd kill your own brother just to be the next Yaras?
Is that what they told you? Yeah, sure, it fits. What else did she tell you, huh? That I'm weak? Moody? Stars, how I hate that word.
Yes, and that your brother would succeed her and not you.
And you know what's so sad about this? That this is probably what she really believes, what they all believe. Do you see these burns on my face?
What about them?
When I was 10 years old, a man named Rujas took me and my brother to a hunting trip. As my mother undoubtedly told you as well, I was always the weaker one. He always outran me, and when he beat me, there wasn't anything I could do. For some reason, though, hunting was different. Shooting a bow was just something that came to me naturally, as did my magic 6 years later. And even more than that, I was a lot better at it than you were. Wasn't I, Duel?
I never said you weren't.
No, of course not. I wonder what you would have said just now if these people weren't listening. Long story short, on this hunting trip, I outclassed my brother in every aspect. I noticed that my beloved brother had been unusually silent that day, even when the old hunter showered me with praise. And for a very short moment, I was even stupid enough to believe that I don't know, impressed him, I guess.
But what happened?
Well, at night we ate a part of the deer. It was almost ridiculously beautiful. The sky was cloudless, and there were fireflies all around us. Eventually, the hunter went into the forest to relieve himself. That's when it happened. All of a sudden, Duel grabbed me at my hair and dragged me to the fire. Then, without saying a word, he held my face over it. It must have only been 15 seconds, but it felt like an eternity. I literally saw the flesh melting off my skull. Can you imagine what that feels like, stranger? That kind of pain?
I can.
Then you probably know that in that very moment, I just wanted to die. The moment the hunter came back in sight, he dropped me and bent over me, acting as if all this had been an accident. Of course, everybody believed him, and I didn't even tell anybody the truth until weeks later. It didn't make a difference.
Yes, because it's a fantasy. You lost your balance and stumbled, damn it. And if it hadn't been for me, you would have lost far more than just your cheek.
But why would Duel do this, Shar? He's your brother.
Because he's a monster, that's why! He hides it behind his bloody smile, and yes, he's so well-mannered, so easy to get along with, so reasonable. But that's just facade. You have no idea what it was like, you know? He tortured me. He humiliated me. He beat me up so many times that at some point I even thought it was normal. That place where where normal people have a soul, in him, it's empty. But they just won't see. And now they even want him to succeed Mother. Now tell me, how would you call that if not insanity?
Char! This is ridiculous! This is simply ridiculous!
What do you have to say to this?
What do you want me to say? It's lies, all of it. Char has always had a very active imagination. The dreams, the voices. To him, the real world was always full of blanks, and he used his fantasies to fill them out. Though, that fire incident was by far the worst phantasm his brain had produced.
See? And that's how it always goes. People believe him because he seems so reasonable, so calm. Nobody gives a damn about the fucking truth.
I don't think he's telling the truth to Har. At least not all of it. This man, Duel, he's like me. Only that he never learned to channel this darkness inside him.
What? Why the stars? This is nonsense. You don't even know me.
Believe me, I do.
But then again, your aura is fragile, jittery. And we all know magic can play tricks on your mind.
Please, if that's what you want to believe, go ahead. Wouldn't be the first time.
But why would he do this?
How should I know? To fill that void, maybe? I don't know, and I don't care anymore. In a week, it will be over.
And you're telling me that nobody ever noticed?
No, because he was smart about it. Whenever he hit me, he made sure it was when nobody looked. And even when somebody was nearby, they chose to look away. After all, it was their future Yaris they would have messed with.
But your magic changed things, didn't it?
Yes. And no. He didn't dare to beat me anymore, but that didn't stop him from telling me how worthless I was. That they all laughed at me behind my back, that they despised me, and that I'd always stay alone. And sadly, he wasn't even lying. Either way, it's over now. By restoring the monument and invoking the Trial of Brothers, I will become the next rightful Yaris of this island.
Your snakes, they killed people. You know that, don't you?
I had to. Even when the entire damn village was surrounded, they still thought I wasn't being serious.
Well, I can't let you do this. Your mother has something we need, and she sent us to resolve this, so we need to find another way.
I don't think so. Look, I've enjoyed our talk, but whatever outcome you imagine for this, it won't happen. So, 2 options. 1, you and your friends leave now. 2, you'll get a taste of my magic.
Look, kid, I can feel that you've got some power in you, but so do we. This is a bad idea.
All right, I get it. You're just like the others. Fine then. I'll kill him. Right here and right now.
Char, please,
No!
Think this through, Shar. If you kill him now, it will be murder.
What?
The Hibernian law. The only way for you to become Yaras is by defeating Duel in the Trial of Brothers. If you kill him now, it'll be murder.
You're right. Sun and stars, yes, you're right. But then again, does it really make a difference? After what I've done? Duel said it himself. In their eyes, I'm already a murderer. I'll never earn their respect no matter what I do.
What about your mother? This will break her.
So what? She's the one who got me into this in the first place. Don't you get it? She looked away all those years, and you know why? Because if she hadn't, it would have meant facing the truth. That she failed. That all she cared about was her idealized idea of her precious, precious Duel, who would carry on her legacy.
Maybe, but if you kill him, it will only confirm her in all this. You will be the failure, the monster who killed her son. If you let him live, I will promise to tell her your side of the story, and that I believe you.
But... Fine. Fine, maybe you're right. But I'm not doing this for my mother. She's as bad as the rest. I'm doing it because I want her to confront what she's done. Just... tell her that I won't come back.
Go. I'll meet you back at the village.
Yes. Yes, of course.
Tahar, you're back. Duel already told me everything. He says you are a hero, that you are the only reason he is still alive.
Duel is a liar.
Stars, not again.
What do you mean?
He's the reason Shar did all this. But I assume you know that already, don't you?
You were talking about the rumors. Yes, I've heard them. But whatever Shar made you believe, they are not true. You know how complicated memories can be.
Blazes, do you even believe yourself? Half of his face was burned off.
Yes, because he fell over. Be that as it may, it does not matter. You held your end of the bargain. She Snake Spawn is gone. And so is Shar. And, your ridiculous accusations aside, you saved Duel, my successor. Here. I think you should have this as a token of thanks. It's an old relic our forefathers brought over from the Forsaken Land, but there is no one in the village who could use it. At least not anymore.
I see. Thank you. What about the Nexus Stone?
Yes, the stone. I looked for it while you were gone. Is this it? It was found in one of the Hibernian ruins when our people first got here.
Yes, that's it.
Good. Is there anything else you need? If not, I would like to spend some time alone with my son. The village will need a lot of time to recover from this, and there's things we need to talk about.
Well, there is. Shar told me to tell you that he'd never come back.
It's probably for the better. Thank you, Tahar, and good luck on your journey. Ah, and don't forget to talk to our Valis about the portal. Unless you have a ship and provisions for a year's journey, it's the only way to get back to your country.
Tandai, have you made any progress?
Yes, the repairs have been finished.
They have? Why hasn't anyone told me? Oh well, doesn't matter. Anyway, I also have good news. I've molded the shards. It was easier than I expected. I think we should move to the portal now. Is it safe?
Yes.
Good. Then I'll meet you there.
And there he goes.
Ah, there you are. I have to say I'm impressed.
Well, it wasn't easy.
I know, Janosch. The portal stone seems to be functioning as well. It connects to the portal's magic.
But we still need to charge it, correct?
Yes, but that's relatively simple. Do you remember the Zolanthep altar I told you about? The one we used to conjure our barriers?
Yes. Can it charge the portal as well?
Yes. Normally, the portals are how should I put it, a web of energy. By approaching them with a portal stone, they react. However, as this portal hasn't been in use for centuries, that web is depleted. By transmuting energy on the altar and directing it to the portal, we can recharge it, so to speak.
All right, I'll get on it.
Sun and stars, you did it. I can't believe it. All this time, our island has been separated from the outside world, and now here it is. A way back. It's incredible. And strange. Your name, they say it's Tahar, isn't it?
Yes.
Well, Tahar, I do not know how to ask this, but would you mind if I joined you?
Actually, I think this is a good idea. He probably knows more about the Hibernians than any Northander scholar. He might see something in Mullendir or the Nexus which we haven't seen yet.
But what about your people? I thought you didn't ever want to return to the mainland.
They don't. I've always wanted to see what lies outside. Please, don't misunderstand. I want to return in time, but you... There's something about you that sparks my interest. And as a scholar, as a shaman, I can't think of a better way to learn about the wonders of this world than stepping through that portal with you.
But I'm not just a simple explorer. We are on a mission, and it will be dangerous.
Well, I figured as much, but you're not responsible for me. I know what I'm getting into.
Fine. You can come. But we'll be leaving soon.
Yes, of course, as soon as you want. I'll send someone to notify the Yaris. She will understand.
All right. Guess it's time to head back home. You ready?
What about the archaeologist, Watley? He might want to come along.
Ah, right. Let's go talk to him. Watley? Someone in there?
What? Yes. Sure. I heard that you resolved the situation on the island, didn't you? Tragic story indeed.
Well, we got what we came here for.
Yes, and found a way back. I have to say, I wish I had more of your, well, talent, I suppose.
We wouldn't be here without your help.
Don't be so humble. I did nothing but whine, and if the water had taken that portal stone in Everlight with it, I would be back on the streets and begging for money right now. Look, I'm not good at things like this, but thank you. Without you, I would have probably died, thinking that I threw away the life I had for nothing. All the things I sacrificed, you made them worth it.
How does it feel to be here now?
Oh, good question. It feels beautiful. As if I finally found that part of myself that I had always been missing.
Well, I'm glad things worked out for you. We're leaving now, though. Are you coming with us?
Can't you guess?
You're staying.
I already talked to Yaris about it, and she agreed. But who knows? Maybe this won't be the last time we see each other. Good luck to you.